Behind me is a car that needs no introduction. The Audi A4 has been the best-selling premium compact saloon in Ireland for many years now, and the latest and fifth generation has finally landed on our shores. Chances are, if you're looking at this, you already own or have owned an A4 at some stage and are looking to see what's different this time round. And from the outside, well, it might not seem like all that much. In typical Audi fashion, there hasn't been a dramatic change to the look of the car, although there are some subtle differences if you look closely. You've got some more dramatic angles on the headlights, some more bars added to that front grille, some more committed creasing down the base and shoulder lines, and the rear then, like the rest of the car, has just been ever so slightly sharpened up. However, as subtle as that exterior refresh might be, this car is all new from the inside out. Based on a whole new chassis which it shares with the Bentley Bentayga and the new Q7, despite losing a massive 120 kilograms in weight, it's actually roomier than ever before, with more leg and headroom and an excellent sense of space in the cabin. Another thing it shares with the Q7 is its stunning new interior layout, and if you thought that Audi cabins couldn't get any more refined, you're wrong, because they can and they have. This one is finished in a mix of different materials, each one more luxurious than the next, from the brushed chrome dash to the grey Alcantara leather upholstery. My favourite part of the car then has to be this flat bottom leather S-line steering wheel, which I don't really know whether to turn or take home and put on my mantelpiece. This all frames the latest Audi MMI interface, which now offers up-to-the-minute smartphone connectivity including Apple's CarPlay. There's also a new and improved voice recognition system and a 19-speaker 3D surround sound system. It will also be the latest in the range to offer Audi's new virtual cockpit, which transfers most of that functionality to a display behind the steering wheel. Now, it's not standard, but it is one of those genuinely wow features, which might just spark a whole new approach to the placement of these kind of driver information systems in the future, because it makes sense, and not just for the cool factor, but also for the safety benefits it offers by being directly in the driver's line of sight. It's especially impressive when used with the sat-nav, and while it is an optional extra, it's an extremely tempting one. That makes most sense when bought with the technology pack. And the €2,500 premium for that will also add a wireless phone charging box, Audi Connect and 3D Google Maps for that full-on video game effect. Safety is another area they're out to top the class in, with no less than 30 driver assisting features on offer, including things like adaptive cruise control and the new predictive efficiency assist that will read the attributes of the road ahead and react accordingly. So if you're coming up to a bend, the car will know before you do, will gently urge you to slow down, and if you don't, it does it for you. Then you've got traffic jam assist, which will essentially drive the car for you if you're stuck in heavy traffic and keep you a safe distance from the car in front at all times. So the whole idea is to take the effort out of any driving situations that aren't enjoyable. But for the ones that are, there's an exciting range of engines coming to Ireland. The lineup starts with two petrols in the 1.4 and 2 litre TFSIs with 150 and 190 HP respectively. Then there's this 2 litre 150 brake horsepower TDI, which is probably what's going to be the volume seller here. It will also be available with 190 brake horsepower and Audi's superb Quattro 4-wheel drive system. The running costs are impressively low, with an annual motor tax bill of just €190 and a claimed fuel economy of over 70 miles to the gallon. There'll also be two 3 litre TDIs, one with 218 brake horsepower and then the range-topping 272 brake horsepower Beast, which I was lucky enough to get a go of at the launch in Venice earlier in the year. And while that was tremendous fun, I'm happy to report that under slightly different circumstances, Wicklow in winter versus Venice in summer, and with a more realistic engine spec, the A4 is still an absolute pleasure to drive. In fact, it's so smooth and refined in here, you could very easily be in an A6 or even an A8. The cabin is exceptionally quiet, the grip around corners is phenomenal, and everywhere you look is just that constant reminder of quality and why this car sits where it does in the premium class. And that brings me to price. Starting at €35,800 for the base model petrol, the entry-level price is actually down on the previous one, and that's despite having a good bit more kit on board this time around. There will be 3 trims on offer. Xenon headlamps, electric lumbar support and keyless go are some of the highlights that will be standard across the entire range. The €1,950 jump to the SE model then adds LEDs, sat-nav, cruise control and twin leather. And that looks set to be a nice balance between the entry-level attraction and this top-of-the-range S-line, which gets sports suspension and upgraded styling. Final price will of course depend on what engine you go for, but the typical bill for most buyers here will be around $41,500 for the 2 litre 150 brake TDI in the SE trim. It's in showrooms now, and our dealers tell us that demand is already huge for 2016. So if you want to check it out for yourself, you can find your local Audi dealer or now even book yourself a test drive on CarsIreland.ie.